Dirt.
I know I can do this. Got this pan of water. I know I can. Just can't. I keep getting wet. This is upsetting me.
What's he doing?
Hey, Mike.
Mike, what's going on?
What are you doing?
You know, I'm trying to walk on water because last week, Tina, you were talking about Jesus' miracle. You know, and I get it that it's Jesus performing a miracle, but then I know there's a story about him walking on water. Like I can walk on ice, but I can't walk on water, and I've been trying to do this.
Well, Mike,
But I keep getting wet.
don't you remember? Only Jesus
Only
do
Jesus can
miracles.
perform miracles.
Makes sense. So
Yeah.
no wonder I've been struggling
Yeah.
and frustrated.
You know, it was worth a try, but just proves even more that only Jesus is the one that can perform these miracles, which, like you said, there's a story about this in the Bible today.
I knew that there was.
You guys are so smart. So we're going to check out this video if you guys wanted to take a seat. And we're going to see, Mike, there was someone else who could walk on water, but we're going to see how that ended up being the case.
Jesus had been teaching crowds of people by the Sea of Galilee. It was getting late, so he told his disciples to get into the boat and go to the other side of the sea. Jesus sent the crowds away and went up on the mountain to pray by himself. That evening, the boat was far from the shore, and the wind blew and the waves tossed the boat around. Jesus was still on the mountain alone. Around 3 a.m, Jesus came toward his disciples, walking on the sea. When the disciples saw Jesus, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they cried. Right away, Jesus spoke to them. "Have courage. It's me. Do not be afraid." Peter answered, "Lord, if it really is you, tell me to come to you on the water." So Jesus said, "Come." Peter got out of the boat and started walking on the water toward Jesus. But when Peter saw how strongly the wind was blowing, he was afraid. Peter began to sink. "Lord, save me," he cried. Jesus reached out his hand and grabbed Peter. Jesus said, "You have little faith. Why did you doubt?" They got into the boat and the wind stopped. Then everyone in the boat worshiped Jesus and said, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Jesus proved that he can be trusted. His miracles, teachings, death, and resurrection showed that he is who he says he is. Only Jesus can save us when we look to him in faith.
That was one of the coolest videos
Very
we've
cool
ever
video. Love it.
saw.
I loved it. We have some review questions here. Kids and parents, feel free to try and answer these along with us at home. You can pause the video at any time. Our first question here is, why do you guys think the disciples were frightened in the boat? Now, I gave you a hint. There's 2 reasons. One of them's kind of wasn't blatantly.
The storm. I mean, storms frighten me as it is. To be in a boat with it being like that,
You
that
know,
would
that's the
freak me
first
out.
thing that came to my mind is
Yeah.
that storm, because I've been out in a boat and I've been very concerned before. But the other one,
Can't remember.
you know what? Jesus walking out.
Oh, they thought he was a ghost.
Yes.
They thought he was a ghost.
The ghost, they didn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell probably either in a
Uh-uh.
windy storm. You guys are right. Now this second question here, how did Peter in the story lack or kind of waver in his trust and faith? This story is all about having faith and trust in Jesus. So what do you guys think?
Well, he got scared when he remembered how windy it was, so he freaked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What
You
do you
know,
think?
yeah, and I think at first when he said to Jesus, you know, if that is you, have me come out to you.
Oh.
It's like he had faith to actually take that first step. But like you said, Tina, all of a sudden it's like the wind and everything, and he lost his concentration, and he sort of like lost his faith
Yep,
on
and
that.
trust.
Yeah.
Good job, guys. Yeah. He said, if you're really Jesus, I'm gonna walk on water too.
Yep.
Instead of just going out and trusting that he was Jesus. And yeah, when the winds picked up, he took his eyes off Jesus and he began to sink. What about, how do you guys think he demonstrated trusted faith? How did he show it?
Just getting out of that boat.
That
You
was,
know?
That'd require a lot of faith, just even stepping out into a windy ocean.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Totally got it, guys. And last one here. Why do you think Jesus performed the miracle of walking on water? We talked a little bit about this last week.
I'm just gonna go back to, because he's really trying to get their attention, and he's really trying to prove that he is the Son of God.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? And he's also trying to, I think, in this, to really build their faith and trust and to believe in him.
Yeah.
Good job. And anything that increases our trust and faith in God glorifies God's kingdom.
Yep.
Now, before we get on to the second part here, I have a question for you guys. So, you know, Peter and the disciples were really scared in the boat, really afraid, and Peter needed Jesus to walk on water. What's something in your guys' life that you absolutely need Jesus or you just can't do?
Mine's patience.
Yours is patience?
Yeah.
It's hard for you to be patient without Jesus, Tina?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
You know, that's really mine too, is probably patience. But I'm gonna say, always remembering to be kind to others,
Right.
especially when they're not very kind to
Yes,
me.
that's for me too.
I have a really struggle of trying to be kind to other people when they're not kind to me, or I see them being unkind to other people.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I think mine might be a little bit more like Peter, though. I really need God when I'm scared because otherwise I get distracted and I forget. So I need God for courage. Now, if you guys bear with me, I have a really cool little demonstration to kind of show us. You guys watching
I
it?
love
Awesome.
demonstrations.
Awesome. So we have this bowl of water here, and it's kind of a lot like the sea, you know, that Peter and the disciples are on. And I have these paper clips. Now these paper clips are going to represent you guys,
Okay.
us, and we're going to try to walk on water, or have courage, have patience, have faith, and be kind without Jesus. So.
Well,
Sorry.
just sink.
Just sink to
That's
the-
what I
well-
feel like I sometimes do. I just sort of sink.
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard too. We'll try one more time.
So that one was you, Tina.
Yeah.
with your patience.
I'm gonna try my hardest to have courage without Jesus, and it's just
It's
not
like we
working
all
out.
fail.
So, in comes Jesus, our little helper, another paper clip here, because Jesus is fully God and fully man, just like that. So he's gonna come in, and I'm gonna try to have courage with his help.
So with
Yeah.
with faith and support of Jesus, I think you're trying to demonstrate that we can do just about anything.
We can do the impossible with Jesus. We'll try one more time. We'll see. Have you guys float on here?
That's me. I
Yeah.
floated.
That's
Miss Tina,
awesome.
we're gonna have you join the float too.
Thank you. Feeling left out.
Woohoo!
There you
Jesus
go.
supported all of us,
What?
but.
What a great demonstration.
And we're all still floating and having courage, faith. But, you know, just like Peter, when he looked away from Jesus, he started to sink. He had doubts, which is the opposite of faith. So this soap here is going to be doubt. You know, and, you know, Mike said when someone else is being mean to us, it's hard to be kind. So when we look away and we don't have Jesus' help,
It sort of moved away.
Mike, you just sink.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know the one sank, didn't it?
Oh, there goes Tina. And we all sink.
Yes.
Because
Just
we
like
have
Peter.
You gotta keep your eyes on Jesus.
You have to keep your eyes on Jesus. So the two main points here of this story, you guys, because we're all going to have these storms like Peter had. One, we need to trust in Jesus and have faith in him helping us do whatever seems impossible, just like the paperclip holder was necessary for us to float. And two, we got to watch out for doubt. We just have to, because it's the opposite of faith. And it'll cause us to sink, just like the dish detergent caused us those paper clips to sink.
True.
Now, a really good Bible verse here to end the day with, I thought was really appropriate, I like to apply them, was from Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. Jesus says this, I can guarantee this truth. If your faith is the size of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. What I thought was cool about this, guys, is Jesus says, I guarantee this. Now that gives me a lot of hope.
Yes.
So, with that, guys, I just wanted to say, I hope that your troubles and your trials and tribulations this week, a lot like Peter's storm, you can continue to have faith and hope and trust in Jesus because he's proved to us that he's worthy.
And it's something that we all continuously work on.
Yes.
Yep.
Because when times are tough, that's when we really got to put our faith and trust in him.
And remember that he's always holding us up.
Yes.
And all you need to do is have faith the size of a very tiny mustard seed.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Until then, guys, till next week, we hope that you have a great one and we look forward to seeing you.
Bye,
All right,
guys.
see you guys.
See you.